Welcome to Technology Orientation at Trailside Middle School. Please listen carefully because there will be an assessment at the end. Teachers, I'll need your help to answer questions and hold class discussions. Feel free to pause the video at any time. Now let's get down to business. Your tech team, who are we? Well, I'm Miss Banks and I'm your TRT or Technology Resource Teacher. I have Miss Thompson here to help, and she is located in Lab 5 upstairs between 7th and 8th grade locker areas. And I can be found usually in 107, which is right by the 6th grade lockers. What do we do? Well, what do you think? Teachers, go ahead and pause the video to have a class discussion. As your technology team, we're here not only to fix your computers, but also to help you and your teachers come up with creative ways for your learning and their teaching. We can help you put together a presentation. We can help you find resources that might make your learning a little bit more easier or a lot more fun. So stop by and see us, even if it is just to say hi. Device expectations. We have six laptop carts of 30, and we have 3 computer labs of 30 computers for your teachers to bring you to use. We also have a keyboarding computer lab, that's Lab 1, located right outside of 6th grade house. Okay, we have some expectations above the regular Trailside expectations for your behavior. The first one, stay on task and use your time wisely. Why do you think this is important? Teachers, go ahead and pause and have a class discussion. Okay, sit in your chair at your workstation. That means you shouldn't be scooting around the room in the wheelie chairs. You should be staying at your workstation or close by your group to finish your assignment. You shouldn't be using the handle to raise and lower your chair. Do that when you first get in and then get down to business. Okay, why do you think that's important? Teachers, go ahead and pause. Keep food, drink, and gum out of the computer lab. That means you shouldn't be having your snack or drinking your water or chewing on gum when you're sitting in a computer lab or even in your classroom with the laptops. Why do you think that's important? Teachers, go ahead and pause. Okay, and the final expectation is that you put all your extra items on the floor. So you can have 1 or 2 things on your desk that you're working with while you're on the computer. However, you should put everything else, whether it be your lunch bag or your extra books, on the floor underneath, out of the way. Why do you think that's important? Teachers, go ahead and pause. All right, each of you had to sign an acceptable use policy within the first week of school. This acceptable use policy is an agreement between you and the county that you're going to use all of the technology appropriately. If you don't come to school with this form signed before the end of next week, you will lose your access to the computer. There's a few things that we need to discuss. Cyberbullying, social media, unauthorized access, privacy, revealing personal information, email, and dismantling equipment. Alright, let's start with email. You are not allowed to use your personal email here at school for any reason unless you are being supervised by a teacher to get an assignment off the internet. You will have access to Google Apps for Education, so you should not need to use your email account to be able to access your work from an email. You should be able to use the cloud. Alright, dismantling equipment. You are not allowed to unplug any cables, turn the screens around, break the monitors, anything of that sort. Unauthorized access. If you happen to come across a computer that teacher has not signed off of, you are not allowed to get on and imitate that teacher, impersonate that teacher while you're on that computer. You are not allowed to do that to another student. If you see something that has not been logged off, you need to inform a teacher or another adult in the building. Okay. Revealing personal information. Online, the internet can be a dangerous place unless you're careful and aware of your surroundings. You should never give out any personal information while on the internet. Okay, that goes right into privacy. You should not violate anyone's privacy. You should not be giving out your passwords to anyone. You should not be giving out your usernames. If you happen to find someone's password out, you need to tell them so they can change their password. You are not to give their password to anyone else. Social media. We live in a world that social media is the norm. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, they're all readily accessible to all of us. However, school and county policy and procedure are that you are not allowed to post any pictures of other students on the internet. Okay? You are not allowed to share any personal information on the internet or any of those social media sites about any teacher or student in the building. That would be very inappropriate. Social media can be a very powerful tool, but you need to make sure that you're using it appropriately. Cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is using any form of technology to bully another student or peer or adult. You should be using the internet for good purposes, not negative. Any violation of these guidelines will result in the loss of access to technology here at school. That means your tests would have to be done paper pencil. You would have to do all of your work paper pencil. You would not be able to participate in keyboarding class and fall behind in your work. Okay? By signing that acceptable use policy, these are all the things that you're agreeing to. All right, let's get started. Go ahead and turn around to your monitors, and you're going to hit Control-Alt-Delete on your computer, on your keyboard, and you're going to type in your lunch number. If you forget what it is on your schedule, which hopefully is taped inside of your agenda. Alright, now comes the complicated part. So if everybody could stop and listen for a moment. Your password is your birthday, but it's using month, month, day, day, year, year, which means if I was born in March, I would type in 03 for the month, and if my birthday was on the 29th, I would type in 29 for 29, and if I was born in 1996, I would type in 96, the last two digits of the year I was born. Teachers, if you could stop the video and make sure that everyone is able to get to this point. Okay, it's time to change your password. You need to come up with a password that's at least 8 characters long. It could be longer, but it needs to be at least 8 characters long. You could put the name of your pet, name of your brother or sister, could be a phone number, something that you're going to remember. And you're going to need to remember this throughout the year because it's also going to be your Google Apps for Education password. Okay? Teachers, go ahead and pause the video until everyone has reset their password. Okay, now I need everyone to open up Chrome. There should be a link on your desktop, Chrome. It's a round circle with green, red, and yellow on the outside and blue in the middle. Okay? Now you're going to go to google.com. google.com. In the upper right-hand corner, you should see a blue button to sign in. Go ahead and click that. Now, your Google login is your first initial. So my first name is Heather, so my initial is an H. Dot, my last name, which is Banks, and then the last 3 digits of my lunch number, 885. At, that's the shift key and the number 2, locker, LOCKER, lcps.org. Teachers, go ahead and pause until everyone has typed in their username. Okay, your initial password for your Google Apps for Education is LCPS, all lowercase, 2014. That was LCPS 2014. Go ahead and click Sign In. Okay. If this is your first time logging into this account, it will prompt you to accept the terms and conditions. So not only have you assigned our acceptable use, this is like your acceptable use policy with Google, that you're going to follow all the rules and regulations and use it for school purposes, not for cyberbullying or any other negative things. Okay? Once you agree to that, it will prompt you to change your password. Now it's going to be easy because it's going to be the same thing you just chose for your computer password. It has to be 8 characters long, and you're just going to type it in, the same as you typed it in before. Okay? Now, teachers, go ahead and pause until everyone has typed in their password. Okay, everyone needs to take out their agenda and a pen or pencil. Open your agenda to your birthday. Okay, if you have a summer birthday, find the page that has a calendar for June, July, and August. And on your birthday, you're going to write down the password that you just created for both the computer and Google, and then you're going to type in your Google username. That was your first initial, dot, last name, the last 3 digits of your ID number, at locker, LOCKER, .lcps.org. Okay? If you need to, teachers, go ahead and rewind the video to make sure that everyone has this written down. This will come in handy later, I promise. Okay. That brings us to the end of technology orientation. However, I need you to go on your computers and on your desktop. There's a technology orientation survey. I need you to log in to your Google if you shut down your window already, and you are going to answer the few questions that have to do with things that we just discussed. If you have any trouble, it's alright, because if you get too many wrong, I will come and find you and we will go over all the material again. I look forward to seeing you and working with you this year. And remember, come find Miss Thompson or myself and say hello and introduce yourselves. Have a great day.